we're going to start in New Mexico, and then we will end up in Arizona. So shout out to all my friends in New Mexico and Arizona. Now this is the case of Sasha Krause. She was a Mennonite woman, and before I tell her story, I want to give you a little information on Mennonites. Many of you have probably heard of Mennonites, and they are similar to Amish in some ways, but I do want to give some brief information. Obviously, this is not a full explanation of this community. If you're interested, there's lots more to learn on the internet. But Mennonites are Anabaptists, which is a Christian faith. Anabaptists are neither Catholic nor Protestant, although they do share some similar beliefs with both. Their basic beliefs include strict pacifism, adult baptism, foot washing as a symbol of servanthood, and excommunication of the shunned. They practice non-resistance and believe in forgiveness. So I've heard it said that if you're Mennonite, you don't fight back. Like if someone attacks you, you don't fight back. That's my understanding. Now, unlike the Amish, Mennonites are allowed to use cars. They are also allowed to use electricity and telephones in their homes. Amish and Mennonite faiths are very similar. Mennonites believe in simple living, but they express that simplicity in a spirit of stewardship and awareness of the needs of others, rather than completely separating from society. Okay, so let's talk about Sasha Krause. She was born on April 8th, 1992 in Temple, Texas, to Robert and Laura Krause, and she had 6 siblings. Her parents joined the Mennonite church when she was 11. As a child, she began writing poems and lyrics for hymns. For 6 years, she taught school at Grandview Gospel Fellowship. And at around age 25, she moved to New Mexico and began work at the Lamp and Light publisher. She also taught Sunday school at her church, which was the Farmington Mennonite Church. So, it was the evening of January 18th, 2020, and she was 27 years old. She had just finished dinner with her roommates, and she needed to go and pick up something at the church to prepare for Sunday school, which was the following morning. So she left her home, and she did not return. When one of her roommates finally realized that she hadn't come back, she reported it to the authorities, and the search began. As investigators began looking into this case, it was turning into more and more of a mystery. She had no enemies that they could find. She had no romantic partners that they could find. There were just no clues whatsoever. Until 5 weeks after she went missing, somebody was camping in Flagstaff, Arizona. Okay, now that is far away from where she lives. It was about 300 miles away. It was a forest clearing outside of Flagstaff, and they found a body laying next to a camper, face down beneath the brush. She was wearing a gray dress, a white coat, and hiking shoes. Her hair was pinned in a bun, and her hands were bound in front of her with duct tape. Her underwear was missing. So, an autopsy was done right away, and it determined that she had suffered from blunt force trauma, and she was murdered execution style with a gunshot wound to the back of the head. Someone had beaten her and then shot her in the back of the head and then left her there. Horrible. So, they still were clueless as to how she wound up here, until they looked into her cell phone data. She had a cell phone, luckily, and they were able to trace her movements. That evening, they saw where her cell phone pinged along the way, and they were able to find one other person in the system who had the exact same pings at the exact same time. So they found the owner of that cell phone, and it was a 21-year-old man named Gooch. And they could find no connection between the two. So at this time, he was a U.S. Air Force airman stationed near Phoenix, Arizona. He was assigned to Luke Air Force Base in October of 2019, so a few months before the crime. And he worked in equipment maintenance. Now, the officials at the base would not say whether or not he ever faced disciplinary action. He was actually raised in a Mennonite family in Wisconsin, so ding ding ding, there's a connection of some kind. He was a Mennonite in the past. He joined the military to escape a difficult, sheltered, and restricted life, according to himself. So on April 21st, 2020, he was questioned at the military base. A detective came in and they asked him, "Do you know why I need to talk to you?" It was a female detective. And he said to her, well, is it about driving my motorcycle too fast? And she said no. So she started questioning him about his recent travels, his family history, his church. And after a 75-minute interview, she asked him if he had abducted or killed Sasha Krause. And of course he said no, he did not. Now they spoke to his older brother named Sam Gooch. While he was there getting interviewed, they spoke to Sam on the phone for some more information, and I guess Sam didn't know crisis and baptism, usually in your teenage years. Mark said he felt like an outsider because his family wasn't born into the religion. He once told a friend that he found life on his family's organic dairy farm depressing and wanted to live like other people. So as they talked more to Mark, he acknowledged having traveled to Farmington, New Mexico, which is where Sasha lived, on January 18th, when she was reported missing. Now, he said all this because they said they had the cell phone information on him, you know. So, he said he had gone there because he had time for a long drive. He left the base early that morning and drove north past Flagstaff and through the Navajo reservation. He stopped for food and then gas in Farmington. He went to the Mennonite church, her church, where the words, quote, lamp plus light are spelled out in the painted rocks on the side Sasha Krause, they did find something that they considered to be a coincidence. That one of the older Gooch brothers had attended Bible school with Sasha in her hometown in Texas several years before and had dinner at the Krause home. That's a coincidence, though, they said. So the trial began in October of 2021, and Mark Gooch pled not guilty, of course. Prosecutors said that Gooch's resentment toward Mennonites is what had motivated him to kill Sasha Krause. But Gooch's defense said that the case was circumstantial, with no DNA or eyewitness evidence. It wasn't enough. His attorney also said that Gooch had no history of violence. But nonetheless, on October 13th, 2021, he was found guilty of kidnapping and first-degree murder. He was given a life sentence with no possibility of parole. He is currently an inmate at Arizona's Iman prison, and his parents said that he has turned to religion, although we do not know which religion. And the Mennonites in Sasha's community have actually not turned their backs on Gooch, believe it or not. It was said, quote, "I'm sure in this circle of churches that they regularly pray for him. I can imagine there will be people that will pray for him until the day he dies," end quote. So let me just share with you a poem written by Sasha when she was 19. So it was 8 years before she died. So it was called If I Die Young, and it has been set to music. If I die young, count not my life as blighted, nor ponder sadly o'er the might have been. You know not how my youthful soul delighted, soared upward as though on the wings of wind. If I die young, think not the hours wasted I spent preparing for some future day. My God is not unrighteous to forget it. He will completely recompense someday. If I die young, pray mourn me not, my friends. You did not see the tears that washed my soul. You did not see the tempest fierce within me, nor how I burned with longing for the goal. If I die young, oh grant this voice a hearing. Death is but gain to those who trust they